This is JILLIANA Ranicar-Breese, and I'm still with Nigel Shamash, and this is part 3 of how he created Cortijo Romero in Orgiva, in Spain, in the Alpujarras Mountains.
Thank you, Juliana. I was saying, I walked through the door and I saw this place, and I had a eureka moment. I said, "This is it. I found it." And
How was it then?
It was in a great state of disrepair. Everything was falling to bits. It needed
so a cortijo, for those who don't know, is a farmhouse.
It's a farmhouse, yeah, exactly. Romero means rosemary. It was Rosemary Farm.
Right.
And it needed a huge amount of work because it was falling to bits. There was a swimming pool at a big crack. There was where the meditation room is, there was a big crack in the ceiling, needed a new ceiling.
How long had he had it?
He'd had it for, I think, about 10 years or something. He'd gradually built it up with, it was a bit like an Arabic mezquita, you know, it was more and more intimate the further in you go. He'd built a big wall around it, and he'd used some Arabic type decorations, and there were, he'd bought old wood and doors and windows and made it look like a very old place. It gave it a wonderful atmosphere. He'd just planted the palm trees. They were very tiny, that size, and I could just see the potential of the place. It just needed somebody.
Did you take photographs?
Yeah, one or two, not many.
Yeah.
Not many, because I didn't have a camera.
Is he still around?
Oh no, he died. He died, Carlos. But anyway, I decided.
So you didn't have to persuade him then?
Well, he was a...
Did you make a decision there and then, that day you came through the door?
Absolutely, I came through the door and said, I'm buying it. And I told him, well, give me a few days to think about it. And I went somewhere and I came back and I made the offer and it was accepted. And then my task was to find somebody to convert it because there were only 2 bedrooms at the time. The rooms 1 to 4 was just breeze blocks, and 6 to 9 was just a garage, and this was a kind of, there was a dining room and a living room. It needed a huge amount of work, and stairs going up to the terrace on the top. Somebody just put it all together. And
did you get an architect?
No, I didn't get an architect. But I managed to find a bunch of young builders, 6 guys, who really wanted a big job, and they were prepared to work very, very hard. I needed money very quickly. I needed to get a program together very quickly, and I needed to get group leaders. I needed to do advertising. I needed, but I felt that the force was behind me.
How long did it take you to get it all, ready, shall we say?
I bought the place in January. We started work in February. The first course started in June the 20th, something like that.
Wow.
But during this time I had to do marketing. I had to make a brochure, send out the brochure to people.
And what kind of courses did you have then?
Mostly rebirthing. Therapy type courses. They were mostly 2-week courses.
Yeah.
I'd sort of been influenced by the Skiros model. That's a place
in
Greece.
Yeah, I've been.
And I wanted a place where people would contribute, that they'd help with the washing up. It was much more rustic and less sort of service orientated than Cortijo Romero is now.
Yeah.
And the people who were helping me didn't get much money, and it was like they worked very hard. And
how much? And at that stage, how much were you charging the participants?
It was about £140 a week.
Right.
And that was in the 80s. Even then, it was much cheaper than now. But we weren't offering as much.
We didn't have EasyJet in those days.
No. And the journey to the airport took 3 hours, not an hour and a half. You had to go through Malaga.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a decent car. I just had an old Renault 4. And
so were you living here full time yourself?
Yeah, and all the people who worked here lived full time.
Right.
And maybe the cook. I think the cook came from outside. But no, the idea was it was going to be a community of people living here. But it actually didn't work in the long term because people week after week, new people were coming, and my workers got burnt out. It was unsustainable. You can't live in a place and always have new people coming. It wasn't a good model. And
And were you open all year?
most of the year, about 10 months of the year,
Right.
it was very hard work, and we didn't have a rest between courses. And after about some 5 years, well, the first 2 years we lost money. My debts were getting bigger and bigger, in spite of having got loans from banks all over the place. I went to Scotland, England, Orgiva to get loans, and I didn't have proper financing. I had an overdraft, and the bank kept asking me to pay my money back. It was stressful. And then the third year, I went to all my relatives, some of them who have got money, and said, "Can you help me?" And I got them all to finance my loan. And fortunately, the third year, I started to make real proper money, because in a place like this, you go up from an average of 12 guests to 14 guests. Suddenly, you've got tons of money, because all your fixed costs are the same. And third year I did very well, fourth year I did even better. And by the fifth year, I was almost paying all my debts
So
off.
what year would that be, the fifth year,
The fifth year would
roughly?
have been about 1990.
Well, that's when I came,
Yeah.
roughly 1990,
Yeah.
but you were no longer the owner.
I was the owner.
Oh, you
I-
were, but you
I
weren't
rent-
around anyway.
I don't know.
Allegra Taylor,
Yeah,
and it
I
was
mean,
early 90s.
Then my friend Star was renting it off me. Star,
Okay, I never
anyway.
met her, so
Anyway, in 1993, Star, who was renting it, was struggling, and so I decided to sell it. And Alan Dale bought it off me.
right.
Within about a month of putting it on the market, it was sold. And he struggled at the beginning, of course, but he's such a good businessman. He managed to turn things around, and I love coming back here. I come back every year. I run a course. I feel very at home. Some of the people that I originally hired, like Ramon the gardener, he's still here, you know. And, Graciela, his wife, worked for me right at the beginning, and it hasn't changed a lot. The timetable's the same as what I set up. The
Well,
excursion
it's a very
days,
good team here, you
It's
know,
a great
Ruth
team.
and
fabulous team. And
Mary.
They've been here forever and ever. The only thing is, it is an aging clientele. You wonder, where does it go from here?
Yes, it doesn't attract young people.
No, and that's something I'm sure.
Well, I
the
mean,
next door-
people are about 60, 58 upwards, I would say.
Yeah, I think the average age is just over 60. I think.
Yes, yes.
So you wonder where they'll go from here, but I'm sure the next owners
It's
will.
retirement. We're people who have retired or they're working part-time,
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say so.
winding down and looking for a new path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, it does a lot of good. It's a wonderful place, and I hope it goes on forever and ever.
I mean, Allendale at one stage was offering shares.
Yeah,
That was about 3 years ago or something like that, or something. Or maybe I've got it wrong, but there were some problems, but hopefully they've been resolved. No, it's a wonderful, wonderful organisation. Well, in the next episode we will talk about where you went after you sold it. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Nigel.